when it is Saturday, you become very happy because the next day is Sunday. You will not have to go to school or college. You will enjoy your day. But again, when Sunday comes to an end, it brings sadness. Smile is lost because tomorrow is again Monday. The school is there. So in this way, on a weekly basis, we find that Sundays and Mondays have different impacts on our life. It is not only Sunday or Monday, even when there is a flood, for example, it causes a lot of harm, a lot of difficulty to the people who suffer. So floods also have its cruel impact on our life. In today's poem, we will see how autumn influences and on what autumn exercises its influence. The poem it is composed by Faiz Ahmad Faiz, who is a renowned modern Urdu poet of the Indian subcontinent. And Faiz Ahmad Faiz, he wrote this poem originally in Urdu. And the English translation was made by Naomi Lazard. Naomi Lazard, she is an American poet. She has translated this poem into English. Original poem was in Urdu and the English version was made by Naomi Lazard. Quite interesting, no? In English literature, you might know this, that there is an identity of something called Indian English writing. There are many Indian writers who have written poems and novels and stories in English, and their writing have got a different identity. Nisim Ezekiel or Kamala Das, Anita Desai or R.K. Narayan, then there is Mulk Raj Anand, Khushwant Singh. Many people are there who have written in English and their writing have got a separate recognition. So, not only this, even translation work is also there. Rabindranath Tagore, who got the Nobel Prize in 1913, his book was originally in Bengali. It was translated into English. Do you know who translated it? It was Tagore himself who translated his book into English. And the English version of Gitanjali was called Song of Arins. And the introduction to this Song of Arins was written by a renowned English poet of Ireland, William Butler Yeats. It was William Butler Yeats who introduced Tagore and his poems and his literary skills to the West. And even when Tagore got Nobel Prize, Yeats's name was there in the nomination. He was also a probable contender for Nobel Prize for Literature. But ironically, the man who introduced Tagore to the Western world got Nobel Prize 10 years later in 1923. There are some more interesting things. I will write the name of a book written in Persian. It is Tuhfatul Muwahhidin. This is the book written in Persian. The English meaning of these two terms will be a gift to monotheism. The topic is on oneness of God. Tuhfatul Muwahhidin was the first book of the writer who wrote this. He is a renowned Indian, a reformer. It will be difficult for you to actually identify the person because he was none other than Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a well-known Indian reformer. He wrote books also on different topics. This was written in Persian by Ram Mohan Roy. It was his first book. What I mean to say is that language and literature, they unite people. People from Russia, people from France, people from India, people from European countries, they may write in one language, but if the writing is really of a very high quality, people from other parts of the world may translate it in this way. Your writing, if you were a renowned writer, if you were a worthy writer, your writing will not remain kept, it will not be limited to your home only. It will spread. See, Faiz Ahmad Faiz, who was a famous Urdu poet of the Indian subcontinent, he was born in He was born in a place called Sialkot in 1911. Sialkot was in the undivided India, and after partition it became a part of Pakistan, and he died in 1984. His poem was originally in Urdu, but an American poet has translated this poem into English. See the link, how people recognize other people's quality. No matter what country you are from, no matter what language you write in, but if you have quality, your quality will be welcomed, it will be embraced worldwide. So in this poem, what is the topic actually? What is the subject matter that Faiz Ahmad Faiz is dealing with? Faiz Ahmad Faiz, he was a Marxist. And a Marxist, they are more concerned about the class division. In their view, people are of two types. The capitalists, the rich people, and the poor. Capitalists, they amass huge amount of wealth, and the poor people, the poor lot, they have to fight to live every day of their life. In Faiz Ahmad Faiz's poem, two very important literary devices are used, what you call figures of speech. One is metaphor, the other one is personification. This poem tells us about how autumn has its cruel influence on the life of plants and animals. He refers to trees. Trees here, they represent the plant life, and he also refers to birds, how birds are affected by the coming of autumn. Birds, they represent animal life, or you can say fauna, flora and fauna, how they are affected with the coming of autumn. And autumn, when autumn comes, it reminds me of a very beautiful poem by John Keats, The Human Seasons. In that poem, Keats has made a very beautiful comparison between the 4 seasons of the year with the 4 parts of human life. He divides human life into 4 parts: childhood, adolescence, then adulthood, old age. And he compares childhood with spring. Spring is the season when there is new leaf on the trees, there is freshness, there is brightness, there is beauty, there is newness, there is growth, there is happiness. The very sight of new leaves on the trunks, on the branches of trees make you happy. In the same way, in childhood, the same is the case. A small child is growing, and its movement, its talk, its reactions, everything makes you happy. There is growth, there is happiness, there is newness, there is brightness in a child. The same is the case with spring. Spring is the first season of the year. Childhood is the first part of human life. Then comes adolescence, when that is the summer, when there is rain and there is more growth. And in human life also, in adolescence, you have more strength. You think that everything will be yours. You can fight back. You can do anything. There is nothing that is impossible for you. This is how you feel in adolescence. That is summer. When autumn comes, you start realizing, no, what I thought is not the reality. And you now, gradually, you are heading towards the end of your life. Then the only one phase is left, then death will come to you. That is autumn. Winter is the extremely difficult situation. So, autumn, it symbolizes absence of strength, and it is the time when you start losing your strength. During autumn, what happens, trees start losing their leaves start falling, trees become without leaves, and the beauty that you used to enjoy in nature during spring or in summer, you don't find them now. That is autumn. So the poet has in this poem, there are 3 stanzas, 3 small stanzas, and at the end there is a concluding couplet. A couplet means 2 lines. The poet in these stanzas, in the first stanza, he tells us about how autumn has its cruel influence on the life of a tree. In the second stanza, he tells us how autumn has its influence on the life of birds. And then, in the third stanza, he makes a prayer to the Almighty God that let this cruelty come to an end. Let there be a rebirth. Let there be happiness and the coming of spring again. And with this hope, he ends the poem, in the concluding couplet. So let us read the poem first then. When autumn came by Faiz Ahmed Faiz, this is the way that autumn came to the trees. It stripped them down to the skin, left their ebony bodies naked. It shook out their hearts, the yellow leaves, scattered them over the ground. Anyone could trample them out of shape, undisturbed by a single moan of protest. The birds that herald dreams were exiled from their song, each voice torn out of its throat. They dropped into the dust, even before the hunter strung his bow. O God of May, have mercy. Bless these withered bodies with the passion of a resurrection. Make their dead veins flow with blood again. Give some tree the gift of green again. Let one bird sing. One thing that you have to always keep in mind while studying this poem is that here autumn symbolizes cruelty, the power shown by the powerful, the rich people. Autumn here stands for the rich, the capitalists. And the victims, two victims are mentioned. What are the two victims? One is the tree and the other is the bird. They symbolize, they stand for the poor, the downtrodden section of the society. This thing you have to keep in mind. The poet is using the word autumn, but he means the tyrannical, the merciless attitude of the rich and capitalist people. And whenever he is using the word tree or bird, he actually means the underprivileged section of the society, the poor lot, those who do not have the courage to protest. So then, let us see the first stanza. This is the way that autumn came to the trees. The beginning is very simple, very easy language it is. This is the way that autumn came to the trees. When autumn comes, does it come to the tree only? Why does the poet say autumn comes for the whole world? Everybody is affected by its advent, by its coming. But the poet is saying this is the way that autumn came to the trees. By this he means that it is the trees or the plant and animal life that are mostly that become the most important, the most noteworthy victims of autumn. That's why as if autumn comes for them only. And they have their evil impact, the negative impact. The autumn has its negative impact on them only. So this is the way that autumn came to the trees. What does autumn do when it comes? How does it exercise its influence on trees? See, the poet is saying the first thing that it does is it strips them down to the skin. Strip means to remove cloth. To remove cloth. You can say undress. A mother takes her child to the bathroom for a bath, and the mother asks her child, remove your cloth, or the child removes his cloth. The whole body is naked. That is fine. But if someone is forced to undress himself, you are powerful and you ask him, come this way, remove your cloth, or you yourself remove his cloth. What you are doing, you are showing your excessive power, you are doing something unjust. This is not justice, this is not fair. And this is what exactly autumn does to the trees. With the coming of autumn, the first thing that autumn does to the tree is that autumn undresses. It removes the cloth from the body of the tree. See the two figures of speech. Firstly, it is a metaphor. Autumn stands for cruelty of the capitalists. And then again another figure of speech is personification. Undressing or wearing cloth, all these are human activities. It is human beings who wear cloth. Trees don't wear cloth. But this undressing or removing of the cloth or the word strip, by using it, the poet is actually giving some human attribute to something that is not human. To something that is not human here, it is autumn. So autumn undresses the tree. It means autumn removes the bark from the tree. With the coming of autumn, trees start losing their bark. They start losing a very important part of their body. And how much is unstripped, how much is undressed? It stripped them down to the skin. This is a very useful English usage. Whenever you use the word strip, you have to know that strip them down to the skin. Strip them down to the skin. strip them down to the skin. You have to understand the meaning with all these words taken together. If you say, the boy stripped himself down to underwear, the boy stripped himself down to the underwear means the boy removed all his clothes except the underwear. The underwear only remained, all other clothes were removed. The poet is saying, autumn strips the trees down to the skin. It means it removes the bark of the tree, only the body, only the skin remains. And what is the color of that skin? The interior you find it is black. The word black is used here. This also describes, it also is very appropriate to describe the poor lot, because the farmers, the poor people, they suffer from malnutrition, they cannot take care of their health, and as a result, the word black is more popularly associated with them. So this is the first thing. They remove the bark from their body and left their ebony bodies naked. Ebony means dark, black. The ebony, the dark, the black body of the tree is made naked with the coming of autumn. What is the second thing that autumn does to tree? The second impact it exercises on tree is that it shook out their hearts. Shook is the past form of shake, shivering, trembling. What does it do? Autumn shook out their hearts. The word heart is also something, it is a human organ. The poet using this for the trees, it is trees personified, as if the tree has a heart. If a human heart is shaken, if someone has attacked you so much that it shook your heart, you really had an effect on your heart. The same thing happened to the trees. With the coming of autumn, the heart of the trees were shaken. What is the heart of the tree then? Heart of the tree, the poet uses the word leaves to mean heart of the trees. And with the coming of autumn, the leaves have lost their greenness. They have become yellow. And when the leaves of the tree, which the poet called the heart of the tree, are shaken, what happens to them? They fall on the ground. They remain scattered over the ground. Scattered means dispersed, lying here and there. Scattered means lying here and there. The tree loses its leaves. The leaves already have become yellow because of the old age, because of the coming of the autumn season. The leaves fall on the ground and they are scattered. And not only are they scattered, what happens to them then? Anyone who trample them out of shape. Trample means you put your foot on it. Trample. Trample means step on. Step on. Put your foot on. If you, while you are walking, if there is a frog on the way, for example, and you have trampled the frog will make a kind of reaction. If there is a cat, for example, and you suddenly, unknowingly, you put your foot on the cat will make a sound. This kind of sound the cat will make definitely. And when the leaves of the tree, they are scattered on the ground, they cannot make a protest. They cannot make a reaction. They are so weak, so lacking in strength, that anyone can come and trample on them. Anyone can come, and when they trample them out of shape. It means with the trampling of the people on the leaves lose their shape. They become disfigured. Already they became yellow when they were in the tree. They fell on the ground, and on the ground again they are subjected to ill treatment. People have the freedom to come and trample on them, and their shape is disfigured. And not only this, those who are trampling them, those who are stepping on the leaves, they remain undisturbed. They don't find any kind of reaction. They don't have to face any consequence for it. They are careless. They are undisturbed by a single moan of protest. When there is pain, you are suffering. For example, I give the example of frog and a cat. If you trample on them, they will feel pain and they will make a sound of pain. Moan means sound of pain. When you are having pain, if you are suffering from some disease, you are lying on the bed and you will make some sound that is called that is called moaning, sound of moan. But so far as these leaves are concerned, they have become victims at the hand of the autumn to such an extent that they are lying on the ground scattered. Anyone can come and trample on them freely, and then those who will trample on them will face no consequence. They will remain undisturbed, and the leaves will not make any sound of pain, any sound of protest. They are very cruelly, they very mercilessly treated in this way. That is how trees, the consequence that trees face with the coming of autumn. Remember one thing, the poet is actually by this means that this is how the capitalists, they exploit the poor. The poor people, they are daily wage earners. They are exploited by the capitalists, and they never get any freedom, any happiness of life, and they have lost their courage. They cannot make any protest. The way they are living, the way they are ill-treated, the way they are subjected to ill-treatment, the way they are victimized, that has become a part of their life. They cannot make any protest. They just have to bear this. This is how autumn exercises its evil and cruel influence on the life of tree. In the next stanza, we'll see how autumn has its influence on the life of birds. The birds that herald dreams. Herald. Herald, this word can be used as a noun. When it is used as a noun, it means a happening or a person which indicates the coming of something else. For example, if your class is going on, the teacher is taking the class, suddenly you see the principal enters your classroom. This entry of the principal into the classroom, it implies something, it indicates something, that something must have happened somewhere, which is why the principal has come. Possibly there is a complaint against some boy, etc. So the principal at that time, he is the herald of something. He is the herald of some unfair happening. And when it is used as a verb, it means announce or indicate. So the birds that herald dreams, birds are always a part of nature that give us happiness, they give us joy. When there is spring, there is newness in nature, in the environment, and birds sing, they tweet sitting on the tree. Then we enjoy this scene, we enjoy this natural change. And the poet said, the bird that herald dreams, the bird that always show us dream, that always tell us about bright future. When you find a bird singing, it fills your heart with happiness, and you then hope for a better time. Your sadness is removed. So bird is a symbol of happiness. The bird that herald dreams, it means the bird that is a symbol of happiness, were exiled from their song. With the coming of autumn, what happens to the bird? The birds are exiled. Exiled means, you can say, captivated or imprisoned. The birds, which is a symbol of happiness, which is a symbol of hope, they are exiled, they are captivated, they are sent to prison. How? What is this prison? Their home, their nest was on the tree, and when autumn comes, tree starts losing its leaves. The bird finds this place is not suitable for my life anymore. The bird leaves the tree. It goes somewhere else. This is the bird's captivity. This is the bird's imprisonment. It loses its comfortable home, and the bird is now exiled. Exiled means to take shelter somewhere else. And interestingly, this is some autobiographical touch also, because what happened at the end, towards the end of Faiz Ahmad Faizi's life, was that he, because of some political reason, because we have already got it that he was fighting for the justice of the poor people, he was a Marxist. And interestingly, his name was once also nominated for Nobel Prize. So he was exiled in Beirut a few years before his death. Then he came back, and then he died in 1984. So when Ziaul became the president of Pakistan at that time, he went to self-exile in Beirut in Lebanon. And here he is talking about the exile of the imprisonment of the birds. That birds lost their home and they find this is no more my home. So they are exiled. They lose their home and they find shelter somewhere else. This is how autumn has its cruel impact on the life of birds. What more is that, so they are exiled from their song. They not only lose their physical home, they also lose their freedom and their skill of singing. Because so long tree was their home, they used to sing from here. Now their home is lost. And with the loss of their home, they also lose their skill of singing. So they are exiled from their song. They are no more able to sing beautifully, sing sweetly. And each voice torn out of its throat. Throat or the tone is very important for singing nicely. And the birds, because of the coming of autumn, when their home is lost and they lose their ability to sing, their voice is torn. Voice is important for singing, but this voice is torn, it is destroyed. And what else happens? Another impact of autumn on the life of bird is that the bird dropped into the dust even before the hunter strung his bow. The birds, because of the coming of autumn, become so weak in spirit, in body, that they lose their strength. They can no more resist. And they are weak to such an extent then that they drop on the ground even before the hunter aims at them. If a hunter is aiming his gun and is trying to align its gun and trying to shoot a bird, that moment when the hunter is aligning, he is aiming at the bird, then only the bird is supposed to drop to escape. But these birds, with the coming of autumn, become so weak that even before the hunter aims his gun, the bird drops down. Because they have lost their strength at the maximum. The total strength is lost. They have become so weak that they cannot face to see the hunter aiming. Even before that, they drop on the ground. So then, this is how the poet in the two stanzas have told us that how autumn has its cruel and evil influence on the life of trees and birds. This is the problem. Now the poet will give us a solution to this, and we will see the solution to this problem in the next video. Thank you very much.